I'll be very honest with you folks. The first time I heard about this story, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was something out of the Babylon Bee or the Onion, or somebody was janking my chain. There is a poll out, a study, and it's all over X, all over Twitter, all over TikTok. They asked women if they were alone in the woods, would they feel safer if they encountered a grizzly bear or a man? And the vast majority of the women said that they would feel safer encountering a bear. Now, this is PsyOps 101. This is knock it out of the park, first year stuff. Explaining this ridiculous story is easy if you've had the training, the battlefield of the mind training. It's a very simple concept. We talk about this over at the Patreon channel and have talked about it at length for a great many videos. It's over there if you'd like to take the training, like to help me out a little bit. One single US dollar per month. That's it. Even less than that, though, even less than $1 a month, if you can imagine that, if you sign up for an entire year. And hundreds of videos, never before seen, fully refundable. First 90 days, no questions asked. Go over there, take the training, look at the stuff. If it's not for you, you can get a refund. Run into financial issues like a lot of people are having, not a problem. Partnering with Vimeo, take the gloves off. We can talk about stuff like this. Now, those of you who have been over there probably understand what this is all about. Why would a woman feel safer or believe she would be safer in the woods with a wild bear versus just a random man? Well, it's real simple. It's something called the availability heuristic. This is one of the 24 cognitive biases and 24 logical fallacies that we have talked about almost ad nauseum over there. What is this? How does this apply? Well, real simple. Information that is readily available, that has an emotional or vivid context to it, you are going to bring to mind more easily than you will the context of all information. Now, what does that mean here? Well, it's very, very easy to go find articles, whether they be internet or mainstream media, whatever, about men doing bad things to women. You see all of the articles from all around the world about, men taking advantage of women. Very, very few articles, though, on the internet have much to do with bears eating women in the wild. Now, you would think, look at the grand scope of things. Men are in the presence of women far more than women are in the presence of grizzly bears. But people don't stop and think about that. You see, there was a time in this country, before it was settled, that women would have been terrified of this. Now, you go through and you can read the articles about this, and you can see the squirming of all of the people trying to make sense of this who don't understand psychology. Seeing a man in the woods is scarier than seeing a bear. Crazy though, I'd be much less scared by a bear than a man who wants to grope me. You see, they're assuming death if they encounter the bear versus what could possibly be worse. And there's a comment down here I want to find that I thought was absolutely crazy. Worst thing a bear can do is kill me. No bear is going to hold me in a basement for 20 years. A bear will not seek my suffering. The bear is not out to hurt anyone from malice. It's just being a bear. As if the reason mattered. Now, any ladies out there right now who are disagreeing with me on this, that you would be far safer in the presence of a man than a bear. If she has cubs, she is going to revel in your suffering. It's just that simple. If you encounter, irony of all ironies, a female bear with cubs, that female bear is going to revel in ripping you limb from limb for no reason whatsoever. Now, you ready for the part to blow your mind? You're probably going to sit down for this one, ladies. A female bear would much rather encounter a human male than a male bear. Wait, what? Yes. You see, female bears are smarter than liberal females in America. Because that poll clearly was done amongst liberal females. A female bear with cubs encounters a lone male, she will be terrified, absolutely terrified, and probably lose her life in defense of her cubs. Because here's the part that's going to blow your mind. Okay? You ready for this? Women, female, humans. What's their big fear of the male? The human male. Oh, he's going to come over and he's going to rape me. And he's going to rape me over and over again. And all this kind of stuff. The chances of you encountering a male, human male, that is a rapist is infinitesimally small. However, in the bear world, male bears are wired to kill the cubs because the cubs are evidence of another male. And they are insanely territorial. The male bear will waltz over there, and the female bear might try, but likely will not stop it from killing the cubs. The only chance those cubs have are a tree. And if the female bear tries to run off the male bear, she'll likely lose her life. Now, you're not going to see that on the TV shows. They always, they want the hero story where the female runs off the male bear. Most times that's not the case. 100% of male bears are rapists. It's wired into them. If they see a female with cubs, in order to throw her into estrus, meaning being ready to mate, they will kill the cubs. Irony of all ironies, what you think is safe. Now, guess who knew this? 150 years ago in this country, the women of that time lived amongst men who didn't understand the concept of no. Let me say this again. 150 years ago, the women that lived in this country, the most modern country in the world, lived amongst men who did not understand the concept of no. It didn't exist in this country 150 years ago. And if you would have asked them, would you rather encounter a man in the wild or a bear, they would have said a man. They would have said a man 100 times out of 100. That is the psyop of all psyops. Knowing that they were living amongst men, and I'll say it again, 150 years ago in this country, men did not understand the concept of the word no when it came from a woman. See, this guy right here is a moron. Why does everyone keep choosing the bear over the man? The bear is fucking predictable. Bears are not predictable. You encounter a bear in the wild, it could kill you for startling it. It could kill you because it's hungry. It could kill you because it had a bad day. It could kill you because it has cubs. The bear acts on instinct. Yes, that's right. It kills things and doesn't want anything to do with you. True, but if it encounters you and it has to deal with you, the bear isn't going to kill you to protect its reputation. No, just a random stretch of land that it believes that is its territory. Bears can be planned for. Give me a break. How many of you have seen the video of the guy walking up to his tree stand, and lo and behold, there's a bear in the tree stand. And he talks it out of the tree stand. Now, what most of the video doesn't show is him and his buddies all sitting down there with high-powered rifles. And it just being one lone bear with no cubs. Here's another one of a somewhat semi-domesticated bear that has learned to live off trash. And this guy gets swatted, but he runs a black bear out of his yard. That wouldn't be the case with a female bear with cubs. Those two videos would not exist. And ladies out there, it won't matter. She won't care that you're female. Even though she lives in a world, I'm going to say this again, 100% of male bears are rapists and murderers by our standard. A male bear comes across a female bear with cubs that aren't his, and he will kill them to put her in estrus. It's just the way it works. And for those of you that think you have a chance, here is a hand-to-hand combat with bears guide. Super handy. You can screenshot this, print it out, and put it in your wallet. Take it camping with you. Pardon me. Take it camping with you so that you know how to deal in hand-to-hand combat with a bear. How many of you remember the series at Florida Maquis? Why are you talking about sci-fi again? Who remembers the series Revolution, end of the world kind of stuff? And it was by, I think, season 3. And this woman was starving, end of her wits. She ended this guy's life after about an hour. One roll in the hay. And she wasn't starving anymore. And she moved on. I guarantee if she had come around down this path and it had been a bear, eating something, or a bear getting ready to have dinner, she would have been dinner. She wouldn't have just lost perhaps a little bit of self-esteem for the day. Now, if you don't believe me, I would like to ask some of my viewers. This is a channel of one of my viewers. Sure, she's out there. She comments on almost every video. Nellie's Farm. Puts videos out all the time. 792 subscribers, 288 videos. Sorry about that, man. I'm trying to fight this voice thing. Usually about 15 minutes is about my limit. She makes videos. She lives way out in the country. I would like to ask her directly, what would you rather encounter out in the middle of nowhere? Everything else being equal. Crystal Daniels, another one of my viewers. All sorts of videos out there. She lives out on a farm way out in the middle of nowhere, and she's got all sorts of stock animals. Horses and goats, something that might even attract a bear. Would you rather encounter, Crystal Daniels asking you directly, would you rather encounter one random guy or a bear if you were out alone walking around on your farm? Now, I've already had conversation with Jennifer Veterans for Truth on the right on this, and we've had a talk about it, and we both think it's kind of funny. I believe her parents live way out in the middle of nowhere in Louisiana. I think she lives in a neighborhood, but her parents live way out in the country. So I know what her answer is on this. The Patriot Nurse, I would like to hear from her on this, because I think it's a wonderful, because at one time, she had a homestead. I think out in Tennessee somewhere. It was either Tennessee or North Carolina or Kentucky. I can't remember which one. Anyway, I would like to ask her this opinion and just get the general opinion. Patriot Nurse, if you were out alone and you came around a corner and it was a guy, a human being, or a bear, what do you think you'd stand a better chance with? And I'll leave it out there too to Lisa Haven and Justice Knight. Now, I don't know whether they live in the city or the suburbs, but I know they live in Arizona. And I was stationed in Arizona. And there's all sorts of bears out there. Now, I'd like to ask them as a couple, independently, if it was your spouse and they were alone out in the middle of nowhere, would you rather have them encounter another human or a wild bear? Meaning, if you want them to come home safe and sound, would you rather have your spouse, either one, encounter a bear or a human? So, Nellie's Farm, Crystal Daniels, Jennifer Veterans for Truth, if you want to pipe in, Patriot Nurse, and Lisa Haven, Justice Knight, love to hear all of your opinions on this, because it's a kind of a big thing over at X and Twitter and Threads and all this. It's a huge thing that a lot of people don't understand. And there's a lot of guys that are, getting their nose bent out of shape about it, but it's classic psyops. It's something called the availability heuristic. There are a lot of women out there who have access to a lot more news articles that show men doing bad things to women versus bears doing bad things to humans, even though, irony of all ironies, the female bear would much rather encounter a male human than a male bear. So I'll leave it there. But before my voice completely dies here, God bless all of you who've joined us over at the Patreon channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are making a huge difference. It's right at the turn of the month, first of the month. Perfect time to join. Love to have you over there. God bless. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.